my boys, good morning. I just arrived from the kitchen with the coffee ready, because in this beautiful day we're gonna talk about the mercenaries and what will happen to them. As you know, in patch 326, GGG added a special mechanic for Path of Exile 1 surrounding the mercenaries, these guys here. Pretty much in your maps you'll find different guys that you can recruit for extra power or you can fight for extra loot. Most of the guys will recruit them because they are busted as fuck. You get a lot of benefits from having a mercenary. As a matter of fact, this is a very powerful mechanic. You can get up to 2 aura effects, most of the auras from the game, which is crazy good. You can get different effects like generating endurance charges, like getting wither stacks here from this panel. But we don't stop there, we can also equip really powerful items on the mercenaries that will grant you extra auras or even better. For example, with this amulet you can get lucky hits. With this weapon you can get permanent fortification. With this belt here will help you with physical damage mitigation. You get the idea. That's a lot of extra added power. Also a lot of curses. There are some tricks in order to trigger multiple curses. They are extremely powerful. And let me tell you now what will happen with them. So the most probable thing that will happen, based on previous GGG interactions, is that they will remove the mercenaries entirely. So the GGG explained multiple times that they don't want to keep inside the game really powerful mechanics. We have multiple leaks with really powerful mechanics, like Crucible, for example, with Crucible trees for the weapons that got removed, because these mechanics will overlap and the game will become easier and easier. So this is my first prediction, which is most likely to happen. Mercenaries will be removed entirely from the game, and we will not ever see them again, maybe in a special event. So this is the most probable outcome. So GGG in 327 will remove the mercenary mechanics simply because they are too powerful. Now my boys, we need to talk about the other two options, because there is a small possibility that GGG will actually keep the mercenaries inside the game in a different format. In my opinion, GGG became unpredictable like 2 years ago. Usually it was very easy to predict what will happen with the end of the league, with the content, but apparently GGG had some surprises lately. Maybe it has to do with multiple things. Maybe it has to do with Path of Exile 2 early access. Maybe it has to do with Chris Wilson leaving the company. Or maybe it has to do with the company being acquired by Tencent. Some of these things impacting the decision from GGG, in my opinion. So this is my personal opinion here. So what can happen here? GGG can keep the mercenaries inside the game because a lot of people gave positive feedback, but in a nerfed format. You need to understand we get so much power from this crap and they don't want that. So if they decide to keep the mercenaries inside the game, they will be nerfed as fuck because they are too powerful. Maybe they will remove some auras, some effects. Maybe they will remove some item slots here because we get so much benefits for free here. So this is the second possibility. Mercenaries will stay, but will be in the nerfed format. Who knows what they will do? And actually there is a third option. So what are mercenaries in a nutshell? These things here that you find in maps are pretty much rogue exiles. Mercenaries are rogue exiles with an interface that you can equip items, pretty much. They act very similar to a rogue exile, which means that GGG, if he wants, it can merge the mercenary mechanic with the rogue exile mechanic. So I've been talking about this multiple times. The rogue exiles that we currently have in game, they are pretty basic, pretty shitty, pretty nothing special about them. But if GGG wants and has the time, they can merge mercenaries with rogue exiles, make something interesting. Yeah. Even if you find the rogue exile inside your map, maybe you have the panel when you can select the loot that you want, then you decide to fight it. I mean, they can do some crazy interactions with mercenaries and rogue exiles because pretty much are the same thing in my eyes. They are very similar. My boys, actually I want to show you something. So recently they did this post here announcing the new expansion that will happen on 31 October. But we have this line here. We'll let you know what will be happening to our Trataran friends and enemies closer to the end of the league. So this little line here could be a hint that they will keep the mercenaries inside the game. Maybe in a nerfed format, maybe they will merge it with rogue exiles. So in my eyes, these two are the other possibilities that can happen. But considering all the other past leaks that we have in Path of Exile 1 and GGG mentality, the number one thing that can happen is to remove entirely the mercenaries from the game. But again, GGG lately has been very unpredictable. Very unpredictable in their decisions, so we never know. The more power your character gets for free, the easier it is to progress your character, the faster you will get bored with the game. That's the entire thing. If you want to get hooked inside the game, you need to have a sense of real progression. If you make the game too easy, then you'll get bored faster. Now my boys, I'll give you my personal opinion on the mercenaries and on the Secrets of the Atlas expansion. Yeah, again, this is my personal opinion. You might not agree with it, you might agree with it, but keep in mind, I'm an old school player. You know, I played a lot of Diablo 2 since the year 2000, so I have a different mentality. So don't get upset if you don't like what you will hear. Personally, I don't like the mercenary mechanic simply because you get too much power. This is a lot of power for free. You can get wither stacks, you can get a lot of things, you can get 2 auras, you can get a lot of benefits from the uniques, and this makes the games crazy easy. So compare this in the past where everyone, for example, were farming in the Blood Aqueducts, so you would see everyone in the campaign farming in Blood Aqueducts for Chaos Orb and the Tabula Rasa cards. Now everything, you get loot everywhere. It's much easier to progress your character. You have so many extra mechanics that overlap and give you character power, which makes the games easier and easier. So, in my opinion, I don't like the mercenaries, makes the game way too easy. I want to see them bye-bye. It should get removed, in my opinion, because they are too strong. So each new league, we have a different, unique mechanic that give you a lot of power for your character progression. It's tied up to that specific league. In my opinion, this is again personal taste, personal preference. I want the mercenaries removed from the game. They are fun because you have a personal bodyguard that will accompany you, but they are way too strong. They are way too strong, and that's why I want them removed. Now, my boys, towards the end, I want to give you my personal opinion on the Secrets of the Atlas expansion. Again, this is my personal opinion. If you don't agree with it, it's perfectly fine. But let me explain. So I've been playing this game for a long time. In the past, when GGG did an expansion, it was something revolutionary, something big. For example, they added here the Atlas skill tree progression, so you could customize your desired content in much more ways. Quite big change here, yeah? Or they added more acts when they did an expansion like this. They added part 2, they added more acts here. Very important expansion, you get the idea. Now, in my opinion, again, this is personal opinion, I don't find patch 326 an actual expansion. And let me justify why, I need to explain myself. So what they added in this patch? They added the King's March area. This is scraped content from Settlers of Kalgur, yeah? So they took the content from Settlers of Kalgur and they put it in patch 326. Now we go here to the maps. They added tier 16.5 maps, which are these ones. What are tier 16.5 maps? Are tier 16 maps with the modifiers from tier 17. Yeah, they band it here together, yeah? And when you enter on this map, you have a short voice line with Zana. Yeah, we don't interact too much with her, just a voice line, and that's it. Pretty much, yeah. Maybe it's an introduction for some future content that they will add, but yeah, this is pretty much it. These are tier 16 maps with modifiers from tier 17. Another thing that they added, and this is the big one, that they added 3 new unique bosses here that you can fight. Here's another invitation, and these bosses are actually unique. We have a new mechanic, they are cool, the bosses are cool, and we also have the memory strands for the crafting. So if you go here, you have a memory strand crafting. Yeah, these are the big ones that were added. But in each new league that they had, alongside with the league content, they add extra bosses. It's normal. So each time we have a league, usually it comes with 1 or more bosses that they added. And that's pretty much it. The memory strands and the new unique bosses. That's the new content, in my opinion. Because this 16.5 are tier 16 maps with modifiers from tier 17. So if we compare with previous expansions that we had in Path of Exile 1, this, in my opinion, let's say it's a minor expansion or a large league. My boys, I also need to remind you, when they introduced the Settlers of Kalgur League, they marketed it as an expansion. So if you go now on the official forums and you check their first post, for Settlers of Kalgur they said expansion, the same wording. Oh, I got disconnected or what? Man, I think GGG is listening to my video and, you know, they want to disconnect me from the game. Oh, I got compromised. Now I'm back. I'm back. Enjoy the rest of the day and good luck.